One morning in 1961, a meteorology professor at MIT named Edward Lorenz was running some weather tests on a computer. So he fed some weather conditions into his computer program, like such and such temperature and so humidity. So his computer would make a graph showing how the weather would turn out. It wasn't always right, but it was close enough to make models of sunny days and spotted showers. This morning, Lorenz was rerunning a test he'd been trying out for a few days. He put in his numbers and saw his computer program start, and then went out to get a cup of coffee. He had a pretty good idea of how it's going to go. But when Lorenz came back, something strange happened. The computer had made a graph that was wildly different from his other tests. But it wasn't a random mix-up. At the beginning, the graph looked the same, but about halfway, it was going up where the others went down, and it was bumpy where the others were flat. It was clear that something was wrong. Lorenz figured there was a computer bug in his program, or maybe a busted piece of electronics in his computer. He checked the program, he checked the machine, everything seemed to be fine. But then he looked at the numbers he put. He found something that was different. In his other tests, he used the number 0.506127, and in this one he'd used 0.506. He rounded the number because those extra decimal places didn't seem too important. It was like taking a couple of raindrops out of the thunderstorm. You could still approximately get a thunderstorm. But apparently, that small change had a huge effect on the computer's weather prediction. 2 missing raindrops somehow turned a would-be thunderstorm into a drizzle. This shocking result led Lorenz to come up with chaos theory, one of the most important scientific ideas in the 20th century. The basic idea is that some things like the weather don't fall simply easy to approximate patterns. The rules that I follow are very, very complex. They makes them extremely sensitive to their starting conditions, so even the tiniest change, like rounding off a few thousandths of a decimal, will have a huge and complex effect. So his discovery opened up a new way to investigate the world. Scientists realized that lots of things they used to think were completely random, like the irregular heartbeat in a person with heart problems, or how turbulence happens around the airplane, are actually chaotic. They're very complex, sometimes too complex to always predict, but they have patterns that can be understood. Thanks to chaos theory, we can make better sense of our complicated world. Okay, so you can make this because you can do these things. So when water heats from below, it rises up, cools, and circles back down. Scientists used to think this should make the water circle up and down in a calm, stable circle. They must never have cooked pasta. It turns out that heated foods like pasta water become chaotic, so they never settle into a simple pattern. It's always different. Nobody can predict that. And so this right here, you can place a single drop of food coloring on the surface of a cup of milk. And then you can draw a line through it with a straw. And this simple action shows chaos in the complex world of the coloring. So when you do it, when you're making it, if you draw it in the same line, it's always going to look similar, but it will never, ever be the same. And so in this cake right here, you can stretch and fold the dough to make the pastry seem pretty simple, but it's also chaotic. Each part of the dough moves differently. So when you fold it, some a little, some a lot, and there's no way to approximate by how much. By using 2 colors of dough in your next baking project, you can see how chaotic it can get. This is the glowing pendulum that I made. So if you move it, this thing right here is a certain type of material that when you shine a light on it and move it around, it has a fluorescent. It makes it a fluorescent thing, and then when you spin this, it makes a bunch of cool patterns. But none of the patterns are ever going to be the same because of the chaos theory.
Whoops!
Whoopsies! Whoa. Okay.
That is so cool.
Fade.
Yeah, it gets like
So it
lighter.
goes all over.
Yeah, it goes.
But it still does fade eventually. But
Yeah. Even it stays there. That way it's.
because when the light touches it, it disappears. But like this, you can just go anywhere, and then it'll always just stay there.
Yeah, but
It's really cool, right, Liz? Do you want to take a picture of this?
yeah.
Hey, skin.
Whoa! So fire. So like, you like the way it's kind of like fire.
And then when you turn the lights on, it's all gone except for that.
Oh, I can. When you turn it back off, it comes
Yeah,
back.
because there's the fluorescent light, it shines, it always shines in the dark. But when it's like this, it's only fast enough to shine a little bit because this makes a little bit of a shadow. But when you turn it off, you can see everything that in front of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why it's so good.